You can create properties from the Dev Studio by right clicking on the class name, create data model property. You can give name and also have to select the context rule set in which you want to create in this property. Say for now I'm creating a property called test in this rule set. So this is the property type. Just like in other programming languages, we have property types even in Pega. So these all are the single value types: date, date time. So this holds only date. It holds UTC date normalized to GMT. It holds date plus time, decimal, double. Double means it is like double precision in C language. Identifier is contains only, it's a unique primary key ID type. Integer, it doesn't hold fractional values, it holds only integer values. Password is by default, whenever you are displaying in the UI or how in the clipboard, you cannot see that value because it will be encrypted. Text encrypted, time of day, true false. Coming to page properties, page is a structure which holds multiple properties. So if you see a single page, so in that page you can have one date property, two date time properties, one integer property, few text properties. So that is called as a page property. A page property holds certain properties. Page group is like you are having multiple pages. Single page means only one page. Here page group means page group and page list refer to multiple pages. First page, second page, third page, like it's like a page list. If the index used to distinguish among those pages is an integer, then it is called page list. Say you have some address page list. So if you are identifying it as address of 1, address of 2, address of 3 based on index integer, then it is called a page list. If you are identifying the same using a text as an index, address of home, address of office, address of work, then those group of pages identified using the text as the index, it is called as page group. These are advanced property property types. These are related to Java. And value group is like value group and value list are group of properties or list of properties. Say for example, some property is there, phone number. If you want to store three phone numbers, you can create a value list, but generally it will not be used in that fashion. Phone number of 1, of 2, of 3. Value group means phone number of home, phone number of office, phone number of work. So index is the integer in value list for a single property, and for a single property, index is a text in value group. These are the property types in Pega. Say you select to date, you can save it. Properties in Dev Studio are nothing but the fields in App Studio. So as you can see here, there are different field types available. Simple field types: text, a single line of text; paragraph, that is you want to add some notes or comments; boolean, like users can select a checkbox, true or false, 0 or 1. Only two values it can hold, either true, that is checked, or false, unchecked. Currency, so to hold currency, date and time. UTC value normalized to GMT. Date only means only date will be there. Date and time means date space time. Decimal means it holds this fractional values as well. Email means by default it comes as a hyperlink. So whenever you click it, it will open it will be opening in your Outlook or whatever email action is configured in your application or browser. So integer without fractional part, percentage, phone, pick list. So for drop down, autocomplete, you can use pick list type. So in Dev Studio, you can select your UI control here. Say you want drop down, you can select drop down here. CPX drop down. But there is a different procedure in App Studio. So we select pick list. We also have only time URL so that it acts as a hyperlink. Whenever it shows blue color, it means that whenever you click on it, some link it has some action. Maybe opening that URL in a separate tab or new browser. User reference, you can get the list of all operators in your application. There are also some complex types, that is fancy field types, that is you can attachment, you can attach a document or a file. You also have a map control to get, you can give address input, or you can get the automatic geolocation. So earlier we have seen how to create a property from Dev Studio. The same property we can create from App Studio as well. By clicking on the add field, you can create. So you can go to your case type in App Studio. You can select any one step which involves an assignment shape or which involves a section configuration. For example, send email smart shape doesn't involve any UI screen. So we can't add properties there. If you see schedule repair, it's an assignment shape. It's a collect information step. So we can configure a view or section. Section in Dev Studio is nothing but view in App Studio. Add field. You can add a field. Details. So you can submit and add another. So that field will come here. So you can select the type. You can select required or read only or calculated. So whenever you are adding a field, like you have multiple types. These are nothing but the property types. Boolean, currency, date, time, date, email, integer, percentage. So these are like location, attachment, or the fancy field types. URL, email are the actionable, clickable field types, simple field types. So you have query, embedded data, data reference, case reference, user reference as the advanced field types. So reference means it refers to another case. Likewise, if you select a data reference, means it will ask you another data class. If you select embedded data, it will ask you a data type or data object. If you select query, it will ask you a data page. So you can give a data page as a source. Like you want to query some database tables and get a single record or a list of records. Both you can select. So what is view and what is form in Pega? So whenever we are showing only some information, it is called as view. Say if we are providing some user interface so that user will enter some details, user will perform certain actions like cancel, submit. Those are called as forms. Coming to relationship between fields. So in App Studio, you can have three types of calculations: functions, expressions, and decision tables. So basically, when you are creating a new property in the App Studio, if you select this as a calculated value, read only. For example, I have selected here calculated read only. Then you can select the settings option. You can do that calculation. Say details is something. Say for example, you want to concatenate due date and note to the technical team in details section. Then you can use concatenate operator to select dot due date plus dot uh, note to technician. Or like you can calculate end date is equal to start date plus time for the job. You can make such calculations. So you can do sum of average, minimum, maximum, expression, and you can use decision table as well. So as you can see here, they are doing total cost is calculated based on team heads cost plus team magnets cost. So you can see here they are using a simple expression. Dot team heads is the first page. In that there is a property called cost, and also dot team magnets is another page. In that again there is a property called cost. These both you are adding to arrive at the total cost. So in the expressions you can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, grouping by using parentheses, that is clever brackets, boolean and boolean or. So you can also use decision tables. In order to use all these records, in order to use decision tables in the Dev Studio, you should open a decision table rule form. You should go to the Actions tab and mark as relevant record.